Today's movie is a real crock. I mean, even though it's presumably about an alligator. Welcome to Sick Flicks, where I take a deep dive into the cinematic sewer to help you embrace your inner gore geek. I'm Mike Bracken, aka the Horror Geek, and today we're tackling Sergio Martino's weirdly titled The Great Alligator. Released in 1979, The Great Alligator is an odd little film. It's not exactly one of the Jaws ripoffs Italy was so famous for in the wake of Spielberg's blockbuster, but there are some similarities to it and Jaws too. But what's really confounding about this one is they called it The Great Alligator, and the whole thing is set in a place surrounded by crocodiles. Why not just call it The Great Crocodile? Hell if I know. This one has a solid cast featuring Mel Ferrar, the gone way too young Claudio Casanelli, and former Bond girl Barbara Bach. It's exactly the kind of nonsense you'd expect from an Italian film from this era, which is why I love it. But enough about that. Can this giant out-of-place alligator chomp through enough vacationing Europeans to earn a coveted 5 barf bag rating? Let's get to the gore and find out. Oh, and before we get started, today's video is sponsored by Vlad, Harold Bressler, and Backfish. I hope I said that right. If you'd like to help sponsor some videos and free me from the shackles of YouTube's tyranny, you'll find a link to my Patreon in the pinned comment and description below. And now, let's get bloody. Oh nice, we chartered a chopper to take us over to the movie. Probably flying over multiple Italian film crews making cannibal flicks down there. Barbara Bach. Guess that takes care of our eye candy. From Bond girl to the Great Alligator. What a career. Hey, Claudio Casanelli. We last saw him in Martino's Slave of the Cannibal God. And Mel Ferrar. I don't remember the last thing we saw him in, but I know we saw him in Nightmare City. So far, pretty A-list cast for an Italian exploitation film. Wait, I thought this was the Great Alligator. Honestly, it would have been smarter to just call it Alligator. Guys, this helicopter is 100% on the ground and not running. Oh hey, look, it's Romano Pupo. We last saw him in Robo-War. Oh shit, Bobby Mother Truckin' Rhodes is in this. I hope he's the pimp from Demons. Also, Peter Boom is my new adult film name. Please update your records accordingly. Oh yeah, they're totally gonna fly into Diodato's chopper shooting the opening B-roll for Cannibal Holocaust, with the participation of Richard Johnson, who reportedly shot all of his scenes on a cave set in Italy apparently. Oh shit, look at this list of writers. Gastaldi, Sergio Martino, and Luigi Montefiore. Good lord, this is gonna be a train wreck. But at least we have music from Stelvio Cipriani. And directed by Sergio Martino. We previously covered Martino's American Rickshaw and Mountain of the Cannibal God. Where will this one land in the hierarchy? Place your bets now. Look at Mel. He's like, don't worry, Martino assured me there are no cannibals in this movie. We're just gonna have a nice, relaxing time in the jungle. Oh, hey, I didn't know Grace Jones was in this. And down below, you can almost see John Morgan getting a jungle vasectomy if you squint really hard. Random animal stock footage. Hope you had that on your B-movie bingo card. Wait, did they let Claudio Fragasso on the set? So basically, they just flew them down here to sell them Jonestown timeshares. And now that we're on terra firma, we can finally meet Barbara Bach. She's no relation to Sebastian as far as I can tell, but she was married to Ringo Starr at one point. Anyway, Mel, Barb, and Grace head off, but Claudio doesn't go with them. I'm gonna stay here and see if things come into focus. Oh god, he's stealing their souls! Man, this month's cover of Cannibal Cuisine is gonna look great. Stock footage alligator. Not gonna lie, that's an average gator at best. I was promised a great alligator. Whoa, 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 Crocodile Bridge. Can we please make up our mind about the title monster of this movie? And the cover of this month's Amazonian Vogue is going to be pretty lit too, apparently. I feel like a montage 7 minutes into the movie is probably a bad sign, especially since this movie had no fewer than 4 screenwriters. Random stock underwater footage. Man, this movie is just ticking all the boxes in the first 10 minutes. Guessing they named this Tarzan's Raft so Disney wouldn't sue them for calling it Jungle Cruise. I mean, I'm sure the Burroughs estate is way less litigious than Disney. Anyway, this dude's exotic Adrian Street cosplay is looking fantastic. Rest in peace, exotic one. I think the movie might be having some sort of seizure. Yeah, we gotta pad this movie's runtime somehow. How about with some random slow motion? Also, this is another montage. This movie is really abusing the montages early. Back on land, they're setting up for tonight's pay-per-view, which clearly features a Hell in a Cell match. And now it's time for the Cannibal Summer Olympics. Last one to shore has to eat the toes. Is this the Great Alligator? Anyway, things are about to get better because they booked the Blue Man Group for tonight's welcome luau. Plus, there are beverages. Barb's like, Mel, did you just try to roofie me? Again? Things are getting pretty freaky at this party, and Claudio is definitely not into it.
That's enough! How do you say that's enough in their language?
Man, what a party pooper. This year's Freaknik was just about to get lit. I guess it was just because the champagne was running through him. Need a restroom here. He's gonna shoot a shot with Barb, but first she's gonna get philosophical.
Living by hunting and fishing, owning everything in common with the tribe, but living an average of only 30 years. What would you call that? Paradise or hell?
Why can't it be both? And now it's time for another great moment in horror film acting.
I'm sure the best is still to come for us.
Well, hope is a very long word.
Oh yeah, line reads more wooden than the tiki hut on Tarzan's raft right there. Undeterred, he's still gonna take a shot. Hey, why don't you join me in the dark room? I'm curious to see what develops. Blue filter mid-afternoon. Boy, we haven't had that in a while. But here's another less than great alligator. Anyway, it's time for some exposition, because God knows we aren't getting any goddamn alligators in this movie, apparently.
I thought you were sort of a hotel manager.
I am, but I have a degree in anthropology.
Oh, she's an anthropologist, just like Lady Terminator. Hi there. I'm not the great alligator you're looking for either. I'm not sure why you take your date to an alligator graveyard to hook up, but let's just roll with it. This is like blue filter mid-afternoon delight happening here. I mean, look at these two. They're like, I thought there was going to be an alligator in this movie. Back on Gator Island, the natives have decided to play something more funky. Look at this dude, just rowing like a pro. He's really awesome at this. Dude's definitely developed a routine. And slow motion for no reason. Because why not? Sounds like the cameraman's a mouth breather. Or Darth Vader. Or turned on. Sergio, far be it from me to tell you how to make your movie, but could we maybe get a great alligator at some point? Finally! I thought this moment would never come. Then we jump to this Seymour Butts film. Oh yeah, white people dancing. Or having seizures. Get down with your bad self, Nana. She's definitely dancing like no one is watching. Later that day, Claudio's looking for his model, but all he finds is this battered boat. Can you tell me what happened here? Well, this was definitely no boating accident. I'm going to Hull for these puns. But don't worry, Claudio has a theory.
Would a crocodile do this?
Come on, make up your mind, movie. It's the Great Alligator. We can't keep asking about crocs. Get off the chopper. The good news is Croc Club Med just got more hors d'oeuvres, I guess. Oh yeah, welcome to Paradise House. We've got a great menu lined up tonight. White meat, dark meat, you name it. Then Claudio confronts Mel with his suspicions.
You have a genuine flair for the wrong moment.
I'm afraid Sheena's dead.
Just what do you mean?
I mean dead, as in no longer living. Are you dense? And now it's time for some motorboating.
Hell yeah.
No, not like that, you pervs. I mean, Claudio has taken out this motorboat. The good news is he's not about to succumb to any peer pressure. I bet they run into Joe and Kenny Loggins out there hunting their own killer croc. And back at the resort, it looks like the Great Alligator is having his lunch delivered.
It's wonderful! Come on in! Even if you shit on yourself, no one's gonna see it in here!
What the hell? Oh, hi there. And the natives are restless. Sure hope this is like a Great Alligator summoning dance. Wake and bake, ladies! Say what you will, but this whole thing is looking pretty lit. Smokey the Bear is definitely not gonna like it. Oh great, here come the white folks. Then it's time for some exposition.
He says the great god of the river has been aroused and is punishing the Kuma for having contact with us.
Lance Henriksen, care to share your thoughts on this?
That's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard.
Stock footage animals. Drink. Oh god, are they going up the same waterfall as they did in Mountain of the Cannibal God? Jesus, they might actually be. Oh yeah, Barbara Bach's getting wet.
Hell yeah.
No, not like that. From the waterfall. I'm pretty sure Slandris is just up ahead somewhere. No way. It really might be the same cave. Sergio Martino, you magnificently cheap bastard. And this unkempt man is none other than Richard Johnson. Wait, is this the Great Alligator? Say what you will, but his Zeus cosplay is on point. Anyway, he's gonna lead them deeper into the underworld. They're really pretty cave for wandering around in here. But maybe we're gonna finally get some clarity on the whole crocodile or alligator thing.
He didn't make a crocodile's head. It looks more like a gator, but alligators are foreign to the Orient.
Guess that anthropology degree is finally paying off. Johnson has had enough, though. Get out, you pagans! Kicked out, they head back to camp.
What's the matter?
I was thinking about the missionary.
Hell yeah.
No, she meant the preacher, not the position. Huh, looks like they're doing some streaming. Oh my god, it's the alligator. Great might be overselling it. I got gators this big in my backyard. Oh, look at this shit. Rubber gator, toy boat. You gotta love it. Jesus, this is amazing. I sure hope he eats some action figures later. I just realized Barbara Bach's name is Allie. Coincidence? Mel Ferrar, meanwhile, is doing his best Mayor Vaughn impression. The beaches will be open on the 4th of July. But he does make a compelling argument.
If there were something enormous out there, you're still perfectly safe on dry land.
After more jibber-jabber, Mel lays down the law.
Where's the radio? You're not gonna push the panic button.
Push the panic button? That was my favorite Kwame song. Bring back the Polkadelic era. But Claudio doesn't listen, so he heads straight for the radio. Man, sweet podcast studio. Today on When Animals Attack, but Romano Pupo interrupts the show. Hey, are you podcasting without FCC approval? And as punishment, he eats one giant pimp fist. Then we jump over here for tonight's entertainment, the musical stylings of the Jackson 4. These guys are extremely swarthy. I mean, this dude is a real sax machine. Oh shit, are we gonna let this kid get eaten? Please say yes. Filmed in Tarantino vision. Hey, like my alligator cosplay? She clearly doesn't, since she runs to get the grown-ups. But they're idiots too.
We're being watched. We've been watched for centuries by beings more advanced than us, poor earthlings.
And things are about to get even worse, because now the chopper's in the drink. Pilot must have been blind and deaf to land like this. It's like a Helen Keller copter. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. I'm totally going to hell for that too. I'll save all of you who laughed a seat. Hey, it's Bobby Rhodes! Smash everything!
Smash everything! Smash everything!
And in a totally random moment, Barb gets kidnapped. Maybe she's gonna be slave of the alligator god. The good news is, judging by this map, they've already got an APB out for her. Or they were trying to unravel some crazy conspiracy theory like that meme.
Pepe Sylvia, look in the mail. Well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia!
Pupo here is so tired of being in this movie, he's trying to get Claudio Fragasso on the CB. Hey, can you get me into one of your red-brown jungle action movies? Back out on the river, we're still trying to raise the chopper. I have no idea, beyond Martino needing something to pad the runtime. And they can't even radio for help because someone has taken the idea of cord cutting way too far. Then Romano tells us what his favorite Beastie Boys song is.
It's sabotage.
Solid choice. Claudio's still looking for Allie, but all he finds is whatever the hell this is. I'm really starting to think we're never gonna get any great alligator action in this damn movie. Ooh, it's like a Dear John Cobra. I love that it's such a threat, he just walks out and leaves it for housekeeping to deal with. Anyway, we're taking the floating tiki bar out for a night cruise. I'm sure this is fine. Oh hey, here's Allie. Looks like she's being framed. You know, because of the camera. This reminds me of that Simpsons episode where they sailed out to international waters so they could have monkey knife fights. Also add that I have no idea why the professor didn't just build a floating tiki bar to get him and the rest of the castaways off Gilligan's Island. Totally could have worked. Stock footage, monkey. All he needs now is a knife. Row, row, row your boat. Sure hope they're playing Crocodile Rock out there. Meanwhile, Barbara's ready for the wet t-shirt contest. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking a bit nibbly out there tonight. But before our great alligator can get to the main course, he's gonna stop and get some drinks from the tiki bar. What a navigator. Just top-notch effects work here. Chef's kiss. Looks like he's curious, probably just investigating what these people are. Anyway, let's check in on Barbara Bach. It appears she's all tied up, so we'll come back later. And our gator is still enjoying his all-you-can-eat buffet. Why is everyone on land dead? Oh, screw it. Who cares? Let's just get through another 18 minutes and forget this movie ever happened. Boy, they really do kind of look like hors d'oeuvres with those sticks in them. Ooh, right in the breadbasket. I feel like the natives are basically staging a hostile takeover of this timeshare resort right now. Over in the A movie, Claudio has found Allie. Baby, I had no idea you were into bondage. Daddy likes. And clearly he's not good with knots because there goes the boat. Nice work, doofus. And to make matters even worse, here comes the gator. It is nice they recreated the lifeboat scenes from Titanic though. Sorry, Jack. And I'm not gonna lie, the swim portion of this year's triathlon kinda sucks. And the natives are picking them off one by one. It's kinda like Squid Game. And of course the guests all made it to shore, but not these employees. I sure hope Mel has a good workers' comp plan. And down goes Mel. Looks like he might need some Rolaids for that heartburn. Oh, Jesus, sweet burning miniatures. God, this movie is so cheap. I think the extent of the creature effects for this film was a tiny rubber gator toy and a fake gator head. I mean, this thing makes the shark in Jaws 3 look amazing. I don't even know what's going on here. The gator is so shoddy they have to shoot everything in extreme close-up to hide how cheap it is. I mean, this thing has eaten like 15 people already, but I couldn't even see half of it. Somehow, Allie and Claudio make it to land and are totally dry. Say it with me, kids. Continuity is hard. And since the movie is almost over, let's stop for an exposition break.
They think the great god Kuna wants to punish them because they didn't oppose our presence.
Yeah, thanks. We all figured that out like an hour ago. They're gonna make a break for the van, but this native drops in unannounced. Luckily for her, Claudio's ready to stake his claim to her. Literally. You could say that was a pretty pointed observation. But he's not dead, and he's about to rock Allie's world. The rest of the natives show up, and Claudio basically abandons her. What a hero. But he realizes he needs 2 people for the carpool lane, so he circles back. It looks like they're about to escape, but not so fast. They're gonna crash their Hot Wheels van off this miniature bridge. And here comes the gator. Jesus, these effects. Then, in the most convenient plot twist ever, the van is also full of explosives. Because of course it is. Dynamite! Do you kids even remember J.J. Walker in Good Times? Christ, I'm old. Trapped underwater, Claudio does the only thing he can. Feed that gator some sticks of dynamite. Well, I guess this counts as an explosive ending. And somehow it's now daylight. Because again, continuity is hard. Oh, and here come the rest of the survivors. Where'd the native assassins go? Oh, there they are. Thank God this movie isn't going to leave any dangling plot threads. This dude has been hitting the edibles really hard, judging by these red eyes. Christ, look at this sad alligator carcass. There is nothing great about this. And now Claudio is their new god king. Or something. I mean, really, who cares at this point? Oh, great, it's a raid. And freeze frame ending, baby. At least the movie didn't let me down there. So, what have we learned from the Great Alligator? Well, for starters, that calling this alligator great is pretty misleading. I really like Sergio Martino's work, but this is definitely one of his lesser films. They couldn't even be bothered to create a good-looking alligator for this thing, instead using stiff miniatures and other camera tricks to sell the monster. It's a bummer. But enough about that. Can this Cayman eat enough tourists to earn a coveted 5 barf bag rating? Not a chance. But let's go to the gore card. In terms of gross anatomy, the Great Alligator is very underwhelming. When I see an Italian film about a giant reptile running amok, I expect lots of carnage. The gator doesn't even turn up for the first 25 minutes here, and then the kills are totally disappointing. As such, we're treated to a bunch of half-hearted alligator attacks, some kills by the natives, and that's about it. There's not anything all that interesting here, so the Great Alligator earns a very disappointing 1 barf bag rating. This isn't a sick flick, and it's not even that great. Looking for a way better film about a killer aquatic reptile? Then be sure to check out my review of Alligator. You'll find a link here on the screen. I'll meet you over there. Until next time, I'm Mike Bracken, aka the Horror Geek, bringing you all the splatter that matters.